Look what I did.
We're live.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ready to Emerge Detour Essentials. Today's what day? Today's the 22nd of April.
Yes.
And I think we're in day 1040 of COVID. It certainly feels that way.
Certainly.
So today we're going to have a really great program for you. We have so much. You notice Nai has on an apron. You never know that pretty girls could cook. The Nai has on an apron. So
She's
we're
been showing up all week on Instagram.
And we also have two extremely special guests, Dr. Thea Davis. Both guests I'm huge fans of. Dr. Thea Davis is a gynecologist. She actually works out of Mandeville. She is on the front line. And today she is our guest as we celebrate our frontline workers and get a better idea of what it's like being on the front line. We also have, guess who? Planning with Jay. Now you'd wonder why we need somebody for planning, because we love to plan so much. Because we love to plan so much. So I have 3 planners with me right now. I have 3 different notebooks that I'm using at the same time. And what Jay is going to be talking to us about is planning during COVID, but certainly planning the rest of our year. How do we have all of our information together? How do we bring the kids into this whole idea of planning? So today we're going to be starting our movement out of just, this is COVID, how are you coping? Because this is our life now and we are going to live it. Now, Nai has on a pink apron because Nai is going to be doing a little stuff in the kitchen today. So anybody who have any husband for Nai, know that Nai is wife material. But before we're actually going to start with you, Nai, because you're in the kitchen. And I know everybody wants to know if that's how your hair usually looks in the kitchen and that's how you turn up to do your kitchen stuff. Because Nai apparently doesn't even sweat in the heat of the kitchen.
Right.
Nai, tell us, how does one look so fabulous in the kitchen and what are you doing for us today?
So just to keep it real, guys, this is definitely not my normal kitchen attire. My normal kitchen attire is usually white merino and whatever pajama pants I slept in the night before. But because I'm showing up for you guys, I wanted to make sure that I'm trying to bring my best self to the table. And these Emerge lives make me feel like I'm actually going somewhere and doing something. So I do sweat in the kitchen. The fan is on right now. You just cannot see it. And the windows are open. So we're getting some of that nice, natural Kingston air. But yeah, so this is not my normal attire. I don't even normally wear an apron, but it's like pink. And Rochelle was like, oh, nah, you don't have an apron. And that's why I'm wearing a pink apron tonight.
No, but you know, if we're going to do so much cooking at home, we might as well do it fabulously. And I think that will add a different element if we don't just turn up in the kitchen, but we drive to the kitchen. I see we have somebody watching live from Taiwan. Big up yourself, Taiwan. So Nai, tell us about the ingredients that you're doing today. What are you doing first? And I hope it's not complicated. I hope I can do it.
No, it's actually very easy. It's actually a recipe that I found online. And it's just for banana nut chocolate chip muffins. Very easy to make, very basic ingredients. And I mean, I've been buying a lot of bananas. And so I kind of wait on them to get ripe and then I make stuff with them. I have a 13-year-old here. Well, now 14. I'm sorry. He just turned 14 on Friday. Right. I have to get used to doing that. Now 14-year-old, and he's always hungry. I'm always hungry as well.
Right.
And so I wanted to have a nice snack that's a little bit more healthy than the other things that we have in the house. So I started making these banana nut muffins, and he loves them. I share them with the Emerge team. They love them. And so I've been making more of them. And so they specially requested. So I don't know if you want me to start, Rochelle.
So can you tell us the ingredients that you're going to use and how you whip it together? You're always watching these food shows. So tell us.
I'm actually not. So this is very new for me. Yeah, but I'll try my best to be like I'm on a TV show. First of all, let me fix my apron.
Like the first thing though, because your viewers would like to see the ingredients that you're using.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the first thing is that I have the oven on and it's at 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
And I like to kind of assemble my ingredients before I start. So I have my baking pan here, so it makes 12 muffins.
All right.
And I like to use these muffin cups because then I don't have to grease the pan because that takes a lot of time. So I'm now just setting the pan with the muffin cups from now so that I don't have to do it later. And that way when you're eating it, you just literally take it out the pan, peel off the muffin, whatever this is called, muffin cup, and eat.
Okay.
Yeah. So then
you get to see your muffin. You put loading that muffin tin. Can you tilt your camera down a little bit?
Oh my. So this is what's happening here.
Okay, great.
With my camera production with the one laptop.
You're doing well.
This is hilarious. Okay, fine. So they're all in the tray.
All right.
So the first thing I'm going to do is mix my dry ingredients. So, of course, it's a pink bowl. And we have flour in here. But what I use is I actually use oat flour to make it a little bit more healthy, and it actually makes the muffins a lot yummier and more moist. And guys, oat flour is simply just blending like your Fosca oats in like a blender or in a NutriBullet or something like that. You just grind it out until it's like flour. And so I use that instead. So I use a cup and 2/3 of flour. And then I'm going to add half a cup of brown sugar. Let's see if I can turn this a little bit. I'll try. Okay, that's better. Frigidaire, need to give me some money, guys. All right, so just because I don't really remember this by heart, I'm not going to pretend. Okay, and I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I like to use sea salt.
So those who don't have no sea salt at we yard,
regular salt is fine. I just like. My mother says sea salt is healthier, so that's why I use that.
Good.
Then I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So that's here.
And guys, Nai is using measuring tools. I have found, because I cannot bake, that when the baking people actually give you like a number of teaspoons, they mean it. So a good thing to eat during this time are some measuring implements like the cup thing and those spoon things. They really mean 1 tablespoon.
Yeah, I recently just invested in these things because I never had them before. I just throw things in, but I realize if I'm following other people's recipes, I need this. Yeah. So now I add half a teaspoon of baking powder, and the baking soda and baking powder help the muffins to rise.
Okay.
Yes, and then I will add a bit of cinnamon. So I just sprinkle what I feel is enough. I don't measure that.
Yeah, but that makes it sexier, like sprinkle some cinnamon.
It looks like I know what I'm talking about. And then I kind of just mix that all together, which I'll show you in a minute, just to combine all the dry ingredients. Yep, so everything's blended in. And then we go to the wet ingredients. So, before I do that, actually, so because I'm using chocolate chips, the recipe actually recommends that you add it
chocolate chips. Them sell it in the supermarket? Chocolate. Okay. Now, am I the one that's stuck, or are you?
I think Nai's frozen.
I think Nai's having some internet issues.
Yes, it looks that way.
Yes, this is our new internet world. So I think Nai's actually adding. She was just showing us the chocolate chips. And chocolate chips, who knew? Because I can't bake, so I don't know where none of those things are. But they're in the baking aisle.
They are in the baking aisle of the supermarket. Correct.
So too, that part of her wet ingredients are the bananas that she's going to smush up, and they usually are very ripe bananas. And she also uses eggs. So until we get some connectivity back to Naomi. So one of the reasons why we're doing this, and we're gonna have something different every week. It's not that we're shopping for husbands. Catherine can actually cook very well. You won't see a demonstration from me because I'm not interested. I just want to eat what they've made. So I will talk them through what they're doing. Catherine makes some mean mac and cheese as well as roast chicken. And since we're going to be here, we're saying, what are some of the simple things that we can learn how to do so we can look important? So after COVID, when we invite people over, we put on our apron, we have like desserts that we can whip up, because we might as well use this time wisely.
Yes.
Pat,
yeah.
How has this week been for you so far? Last week we had Food for the Poor on, and we got some really good feedback. This is really an amazing time for give back.
Yes.
And I know people were particularly excited about opportunities to give back.
Absolutely.
And just so that our viewers know, every week we will have various surprises for you. This week we have a very, very special surprise for you, because in fact, all of us are some closet DJs. I am like the best one.
Rochelle
knows every song. And Catherine, who, like, I wouldn't pick Catherine like as a dancer or so, you know, I wouldn't pick her out. I wouldn't say, Catherine, join my dance team. But Catherine is the biggest babyface fan on the face of the planet.
Nice back.
Nice. Welcome back.
I have no idea what happened. So I'm now actually on my phone because my laptop is just not connecting to the internet anymore.
Yeah, you still look fabulous though, darling. So you were telling us about your wet ingredients.
Oh, wow. That's how far we were. Okay, cool. So before we did that, I had actually added some flour to the chocolate chips.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps them to not melt too fast while they're baking.
Ooh.
Okay, so now for the wet ingredients, I have some mashed bananas here.
Mm-hmm.
About 3 of them. So you can use 3 to 4, but I use 3. And I'm going to add to that half a cup of, you can use vegetable oil, but I like to use coconut oil.
Okay.
And then I will also add to that 2 eggs, which I'm cracking now. Lord, please don't let the shells drop in there now. Okay,
yeah, nice.
Nice.
I don't mean to be a critical friend, but you know, bring egg pat. Bring egg like pan. You have to work on the egg breaking.
Oh, because I can't just do it like this.
Yeah.
Just break.
Yeah.
No, I'm not there yet. Not there yet. No, the whole egg, including the shell, would end up in the bowl. So I won't even pretend. And so I add 2 eggs, and I'm gonna also add. You can use vanilla, but I like to actually use Simma's vanilla bean extract that has a little bit of Appleton estate in there.
Oh, that's Simma's.
Simma's, yep.
Oh, wonderful. I remember we buying local, everybody.
Yep, so I use half a teaspoon of that. And now I'm just gonna mix all of that together. I usually use a whisk, but I don't see it. So I'll just use a good old fork, which works just as well.
Okay. So I bought one of those handheld mixing things recently.
I need one.
Yeah. They work nicely. It's very important when I use it. So I feel like I'm somebody. So you could also use one of those handheld mixing things.
Where did you buy your mixer?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where did I buy
a hand mixer?
Mm-hmm. You don't recall?
No. It just and it made me feel like a big man.
So did anybody watch The Clash? Well, Nike mixing her ingredients
while this is happening.
No, well, you know, we were just about to get back on track. So did anybody watch the Babyface and Teddy Riley clash this week? I mean, it was long awaited and eagerly anticipated. I mean, initially it was supposed to be about a month ago, and then Babyface got COVID, and so they had to postpone it to last week. And then last week they had some major technical difficulties, but with over 400,000 people signed on to that clash last week, right? Anyway, because of the technical difficulties, they postponed it again until Monday. And on Monday, all the Babyface fans were truly satisfied.
But you guys see that group is Babyface fans though, because all of my young friends don't know who Babyface is.
So we had our Emerge meeting this week.
Yeah, well, let's not call people's business. All of our young friends don't know who Babyface is. Let's just leave it at that. All right.
So
So
what for them to do?
where Babyface is concerned.
So
'Cause-
basically, Kenneth Edmonds is, I mean, he is a master of all trades, not a jack of all trades. He is a singer, he is a songwriter, he is a producer, and he is a master in all areas.
Kathy,
Right?
what I do with Babyface? You just give me the preamble. You feel like sometimes we're waiting for the COVID update. Come on. We're dying for the. What are we doing? Are we having a clash?
No, we're not having a clash. We're just going to, I mean, you're not ready for the clash, so we're not having a clash tonight. Okay? So we're going to introduce the songs that I thought, and we're only playing like 4 or 5 songs that I thought were classic Babyface songs that just done the clash. Okay? But where's Alexi? There we go.
Alexi, I'm gonna come off of the phone and join in through my laptop, by the way. So I'm entering again.
Okay.
All right. So in the meantime, this is game time, guys. It's finish the lyrics and you finish the lyrics in the comments. So those of you who don't know who Babyface are, you don't have a chance. You don't have a chance. Those of you who know some Babyface, you've got a chance. Alexi, come on, hit him with the first one.
Babyface is all unrich. Yes, Nick.
I feel like we might be having the same challenge that Teddy Riley had.
Don't even speak it. Can you guys hear? Nobody
What time is that, guys?
Can they hear? Can you guys actually hear the songs? Because this won't be any fun.
If you guys can't hear the song.
Yeah. Nick says if you don't know Babyface, you need to Google him.
Okay, so while we get those technical difficulties, and let us know if you are hearing the songs. We're gonna fix that because we're immersed. We're not Teddy Riley. We have in waiting
They're not
backstage because that is so amazing that we have a backstage. We're using StreamYard, which is a pretty good platform for these webinars for those of you who want to know. Today we're celebrating our frontline workers, and we have with us a particularly special frontline worker, Dr. Thea Davis. We do recognize that while we are here and we're able to enjoy and emerge, we have several frontline workers who are at work right now. We've heard the stories that some health workers have actually been have COVID. So while we get to stay home and complain that we have to be home with the children all day, we're tired of being home, some people have not been home with their family for a long time. And we are so grateful that Thea was able to take some time. I just have to comment though. Thea looks like this all the time.
Yes.
Fantastic. I am sure she's in the hospital and she's delivering your child that she's like, push. Thea, we are so grateful you could join us today. Thank you very, very much that you could join us. Nai, are you going to be having a conversation with Thea? Are you on?
Well, I am afraid that I might chip out again.
But we can't see you. We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Let me see what's happening with her.
Can you
guys, one of the realities is we can hear you clearly, but we're not seeing you.
You're not.
So what we do know is that with more and more people at home, you know, the internet is gonna have difficulties. So Thea,
Shelly, be nice.
no, now we're not seeing you, we're hearing you, and you have some feedback. So disconnect and reconnect.
Oh, okay.
Shelly.
All right, great.
There you are. Oh, no.
All right. Yeah. how has this time been for you? Let me just jump to it.
It's been, well, seemingly overnight. I think we have found ourselves in a very new era, fighting what I call a war with a virus. It's a very interesting thing that we use the word frontliners, which is pretty much a war terminology, and it's used to describe the roles that we play as healthcare workers as we go through what we're going through right now with this pandemic has completely derailed, all of our lives. And, it's caused an uncertainty as to exactly what our future is going to be. Because if you think about it, we still don't know when it's going to all come to an end. Is it going to come to an end, and when? And the cornerstone of any public health crisis is that prevention is better than cure. And we're yet to find a cure. There's no vaccine. So we're relying entirely on human behavior in order to fight this war. And so because of that, as healthcare workers and all frontline workers, I'm talking about from the nurses, the pharmacists, to the soldiers, the police officers, I think fear, for me especially, fear has been the dominant emotion. And it's fear because you just don't know what is happening. There's fear of the fact that you don't know if you're going to contract this illness. You see your colleagues all over the world dying from this illness. So death, you fear of death. And of course, the fear of actually transmitting this disease to your loved ones and your friends. So as you had mentioned earlier, where you can quarantine at home and quarantine with your families, many of us on the front line were unable to do that. And that's simply because of that fear of taking it home to those who you know, your loved ones, who you know are susceptible to possibly contracting this disease. So for me, I have had to step back a little bit from the family life, which really breaks my heart, because I am fully a family person, and my daughter and my mother means the world to me. I have stayed initially when this whole outbreak came. I made a decision. I was afforded the luxury of being able to quarantine away from them because I work in Mandeville and then they live in Kingston. But after 2 weeks, I must admit that it was very difficult because it took a toll on my physical, my mental, and my emotional well-being. And it was also affecting Imani greatly. I'm not the only one, her father as well. He's a doctor, he's a frontline worker. So she worries for us. So I did take, when I realized our numbers were going up, I said, the time is going to come when I probably will not be able to do this. So I went home for a weekend after not seeing them for 2 weeks and quarantined away from them, but just so that I could actually be there in their presence and so that they can actually see me. And it made a world of a difference.
Really so Thea, when you see on Instagram and stuff where we're going through, persons are going through the various issues with homeschooling, and we're all complaining about the homeschooling and the this and that. You don't get that opportunity with Imani because you're in Mandeville and you have, how does that make you feel?
I actually sometimes, it's been hard when I see the complaints because I'm like, I wish I was home with my little one. And I have to literally depend on a WhatsApp call or a FaceTime call in order to communicate. I can't bake with my little one. I can't cook with my little one. I can't hug her and hold her every night like many, are able to. I can't sit and do, homework with them. So I actually feel jealous when I see everyone else having this family life. And then I do get a little angry when I see people complaining, because I'm like, I wish I could do that, and it has actually made me question sometimes, or initially I would say, my purpose. I had to redefine what my purpose was, because I'm like, I didn't sign up for this. I did not go to medical school. Tell us
about that, Thea, because I've been wondering. I've been following you for quite some time, and you're one of those people. I remember the first time we met and we had this great conversation, and I was like, she's one of those people that was just born for what she's doing, and she's walking in her purpose. How has this time really caused you to have to really get into that self-evaluation?
So initially, I'll never forget it. I can actually tell you exactly when that happened. You're right. I've always been the type of person, anyone that knows me knows that I am very certain of why it is I was placed on this earth. And ever since I was probably 11 years old, as far as I can remember, I've wanted to become a doctor.
Yeah.
So I've never questioned that. And I remember when right before we announced that our first case was here in Jamaica, I was watching the news and following what was happening around the world. And I saw where in Italy and Spain, doctors were deciding who lived, who didn't live, who had a bed, who didn't have a bed, and who'd get a ventilator. And I remember saying to myself, is this what's going to happen to me? Is this now going to be my reality?
Wow.
And of course, I questioned my purpose. And I was like, I didn't sign up for this. The only time I ever read about a pandemic was when I was in fourth year medical school. And it was of historical significance. It wasn't something I thought I would ever live through or yet have to serve. And I'll never forget, it was actually after, incidentally, now that you're talking about it, the first emerge that you all did, we were talking about refocusing and how we would decrease our stress levels. And for me, you were talking about breathing exercises. And what I had done was, it was very difficult for me to go to work in the mornings because I was so consumed with fear.
Wow.
And I sat in my car the morning after, and I remember praying. And I remember doing those breathing exercises in order to try and calm me, to get my anxiety levels down. And right as I was about to step outside of the car, going through my IG in the mornings, because I call it IG therapy. And I mean, that's what I call it. A quote came up, and the quote was from Oprah Winfrey. And it had said that there is no greater gift that you can give or receive than to honor your calling. And it's why we were born, and how you make the most of it becoming alive. It makes you become alive. And at that point, I just got a feeling of calmness. And I said, yeah, it was for me, that was the moment of redefining my purpose. And I said, yes, I was ready to serve. And of course, you know, I could not do this without holding on, trying to find a balance with my faith. And of course, my amazing support system that I have. I have the most amazing friends and family who have really helped me to find my new normal and to try and really cope with exactly what it is that we're dealing with.
So as an OBGYN, I mean, it's a time when pregnant women would now be a little concerned, you know, can I pass COVID on? What do I need to be doing differently with my body to protect myself? So there's added anxiety. So you have your own issues that you're dealing with, and yet you still have to be comforting patients and counseling patients. How do you do that? And what's the kind of conversation you're having with your patients?
So I've gotten used to it. Initially, it was very hard. But now I have found a way to be able to ease the fears of the general, because the truth is, as you rightfully said, you know, life goes on beyond COVID. So I'm still on the front line working, in the sense that although I haven't had to take care of any active COVID patients, not yet, that time I hope will never come, but unfortunately we have to prepare ourselves for that. People are still having babies, people are still getting sick. So yes, there is a fear amongst pregnant women. Most certainly, one of the challenges I'm having right now is that a lot of my patients, they wish they could have like a home delivery. They're afraid of going to a hospital to deliver. So I've had to be, you know, constantly counseling them, because the truth is, pregnant women, they are not at a more increased risk than the general population to contracting COVID. So their risk is like anybody else's, and it's not transmissible to the fetus while in the womb. So at this point, as far as we know, so I've been able to, based on the literature coming outside of Europe and say China, we've been able to kind of ease that from our pregnant population. But most definitely, I still encourage the stay-at-home orders, Tanayayad, the hygiene, what it is that they need to do. And I remind them to think of themselves as the frontliners. I actually tell that to everybody.
Mm.
We are the back defense. We're the last defense. You don't want to see us. So I always encourage people to think of yourselves as the frontliners, not us. You don't want to see us. So once you play your role, and you do your part, then we should be okay. And I find that when I put that into perspective, I'm able to ease some of their fears.
Oh, that is so powerful. I never thought of that. Think of yourself as the frontliner.
Yes, think of yourself as the frontliner. Yep.
Oh my
We are
God.
the last line of defense, healthcare workers. You don't want to reach to us. The virus does not move. We are the ones that move this virus. So if we stop moving, think about it. If the entire world could come completely to a still for about 28 days, probably our problems will be solved. But because there's movement, the virus will continue to move and we can spread it. So you don't want to see us. So play your part, be the frontliner.
Yes.
Is what I encourage people to do. And think of yourself as that person on the front line, and we are the back defense. We're the last line of the defense. Yes.
I absolutely love that. So Thea, I'm going to change focus a little bit. So I am one of those patients that when I go to the doctor, I turn fool. You know those people that they actually went for a reason, and then you ask for, you're like, nothing do me. All right. I'm one of those. I'm not a good patient. I don't usually take all of my medication that I've been prescribed. I stop when I feel better. So I want to ask you a couple of things, because you know what? We forget that doctors are human beings. When we're down with you in the office, uno feel like uno bigger than we, so we turn fool. So tell me something. You're laughing now. Tell our viewers the last thing that made you laugh till you couldn't breathe.
I don't know if I can air that. The last thing that made me laugh. Actually, it was something. I'll have to defer on that one. If I'm going to be truthful, but the truth be told is I do have an amazing support group.
Yes.
And we share jokes and thing with each other, every single day. So I would say my group of friends, we have a span of friendship of over 20 to 25 years. They make me laugh almost every day, belly bottom laugh kind of thing. I never end a day without a laughter from one of them. So let me just leave it at that.
So if they're like some of my friends, that joke you can't tell anybody.
Exactly. It's kind of like that.
Yeah. So Thea, you just mentioned that support system. And one of the things that we do recognize is just that physiologically and for our overall well-being, relationships are so important. The ability to connect with other people. So you are in Mandeville, you're pretty much quarantined from your friends. How do you keep that connection going with your tribe? I know it's a busy time for you. How do you keep the connection going with your tribe during this time?
Well, it's easy in the sense that, we communicate daily. Some of them I would honestly say would probably call me a little bit I'm the annoying one in the sense that I'm always the one. No, seriously, because I'm here by myself. I'll be honest. I'm here by myself in Mandeville. So Mom and Imani are in Kingston. So by the time I'm finished, I probably have a little bit more time on my hands.
Yeah.
Than probably all, because my friends are always saying they're completely in Zoom meetings. They have deadlines to make. So I'm the one that literally probably, I would say, do a lot of the, hey, what's up? Can you, talk to me? I'm the one that will call you 3-4 times for the day, or, talk to my sister on the phone. So I try, because for my own sanity, I try to keep that communication open. Don't get me wrong. They do check up on me even just today, one of my friends on my way down to Junction, she called me on my journey down just briefly, just to wish me all the best for this evening. And that meant a lot to me.
Yes.
So they do know how I am. And I tend to keep that, for my sanity, I have no choice but to keep the communication going. And they don't leave me out. So even if it takes them 2 hours or 3 hours to respond to a WhatsApp, they do, and they check on me on a daily basis. My daughter, thank goodness for her. I mean, with this whole technology thing now, she has learned exactly what it is for a WhatsApp call, how to do a conference WhatsApp video call. And if it were up to her, she would video call me right throughout the day. So just seeing that, her face, keeps me going. And it's very important. That's definitely something I encourage everybody on the front line to do, is to find some time during the course of their day,
yes,
in order to connect with their family and friends. Because it's the only way you're going to get through this. That's the only way you're going to be able to maintain your sanity. Other than that, you're going to find yourself being consumed with what's going on in the media, what's going on the outside world.
yes.
And that will just bring you completely down into the slumps.
Yeah. So I know you are a lady that's emotional like myself. Some of us, to get through, we have to have those moments where we just release. So there is the time of laughter. There's sometimes that everything just gets overwhelming. And from where you sit and you understand the implications of so many things, and you know that we should really be the front line, wearing our masks, sanitizing, handing out we had. You understand these things. Now, during this time, can you tell us about a moment where you just broke down, and how did you pick yourself up from it?
So I can tell you exactly, yes. It was actually Good Friday. I was on call that weekend, and for me, I've never missed a Good Friday with my family. We go to church 7:15 in the morning for Good Friday service. It's one service that I look forward to absolutely every single year. And I remember waking up that morning and feeling so empty. And I broke down in tears after watching my service online. And it brought me to my knees, and I had to get down on my knees, and I had to pray. And what I had to do was to dig deep in order to find back my faith, because I found myself losing that, in the sense that I had to remind myself, listen, you are no longer in control. I'm that type of person. I always want to be in control of something. And the fact that I feel as if I'm losing control, I don't have control of what's happening, it was breaking me. And so I got on my knees, I prayed, and I cried. And that particular morning, my cousin, well, it was actually the day after, but I have a cousin who lives with me in the same complex. And after having a conversation with her, I was able to realize that, listen, the only way you're going to get out of this is to invite God into your presence, and invite God into this. And it was at that moment I was able to release. And what I had asked God for is to make me become what I call a fearless warrior. Yeah, because I'm on the front line. You have to decrease your fear levels. And that was my prayer that morning. Lord, make me a fearless warrior as I face this challenge. And it was after that a sense of calmness came over me again. And I have decided that I'm going to put my faith first and allow God to take control. He's in control. He has the world in his hands. And I am ready to serve. I think all of us are ready to serve. And I am so much calmer going to work now. I mean, by the way, I don't look like this when I go to work in the mornings anymore. So I'm the woman who goes to work in her 6-inch heels. And I am always made up, but since COVID, no, that doesn't happen. So I'm actually very happy for tonight, because I was able to put on a fancy dress. I was able to do my hair and my makeup, because I haven't done this. I kid you not. I have not done this in about a month. Because we have to go to work in scrubs at the hospital. So for me, that really made me feel so depressed because that's just not me. I love to dress up. So yeah. If what? I didn't hear you.
No, just like myself here. I miss that. I love the dress up part.
I do. So it's been hard. Yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you. I mean, I always find that every conversation with you is, I mean, I could just sit for hours and listen to you. I think it is your ability to blend your calling with your faith and your humanity just really must be applauded. We thank you for the reminder tonight that we are actually the front line. I mean, this was like truly an aha moment. I was like, true. And I think it is something that we need to be reminding others that we are the first line of defense.
Exactly.
First line. I think we have taken for granted. And yes, Tishan, it is an opportunity to get to homeschool the kids. I think too, when we remember that some people aren't getting that opportunity. And Thea, tonight we really celebrate. We celebrate that you invited God into your calling. And we applaud Thea Nicole Davis, the fearless warrior. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We shall be praying for you, and we are so grateful that you have just been willing to give of yourself and serve in a completely different fashion during this COVID crisis.
Thank you so much for having me, and all the best to everyone on the front line, including my fellow healthcare workers, reminding them that enough sleep is needed, exercise, boost your immune system, and try and ensure that you don't overwhelm yourself too much with the media, and just keep going. We can get through this if we all work together. Thank you.
Thea, just to let you know that we've been getting just some amazing commentary. And I mean, it's just important that you understand. People just saw it, that frontline comment, aha moment. I see applause. Sandor Panton says, powerful reasoning, Thea. Hashtag fearless warrior. Pastor Sharon Reed says, awesome, Thea, bless you. Nick Max says, can relate to the anxiety from not being in control. We're seeing ready to serve. Simone says, loving this, very, very encouraging. Paula Salmon Fletcher says, so enjoying this, Thea, you are a champion. So you're getting a lot of, so Thea, we just all would like to just, and everybody, wherever you are, just know that Thea is hearing you. Applaud her right now. Keep up the great work. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Thea.
Thank you.
Thea, you are awesome. Thank you so much.
So now, muffins ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Literally in 1 minute.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, Imani Lee is on. We love Iman. What Iman is nice. We see you formed your company. Go girl, our prayers are with you. You are awesome, and you too are a champion.
Not only has she formed the company, but she has non-profit status now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I feel important that Iman is on.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the Lily Muffin them. They're not done yet. They don't know.
Let me check.
Please.
She said 1 minute.
Yeah.
I think they are ready.
They better make good in
voice in the kitchen for the syndicated broadcast for this show. You're gonna have to sound a little bit more. Are they ready? A little more ready.
Oh, they're ready.
Good job.
Oh, so
Banana chocolate pecan muffins. So what Mice do now is she's going to let them cool, and then she's going to package them in little Ziploc bags
and drop them off for the
her mask. And tomorrow morning, bright and early, she drives around and drops them off to Kathy and. We are so grateful.
Like Tyrone is on.
Hi, Carol. Well, and Thea's
So-
mom is already also on, and we just want to say hi, Nana.
Everybody's on. Dominique was on all the way
Oh,
in
my
Taiwan, and I know that
She's
Cheryl is very far
family
away too.
there. Oh,
Nai, that's a message for you.
Deborah, you can pick up from my house if you drop off 3 bottles of wine. Okay? Okay. So who else do we have today, Kathy? Can you tell
Oh
us
wow! So I'm also excited about our next guest, right? And Rochelle had said it earlier. She is from Planning, the founder of Planning with Jay. And I had to show off tonight, and I think I've showed off before, but this is my planner that Jay made for me, and she is absolutely amazing, right? I said to her, Jay, I need a planner. And she said to me, what are your goals for this year? And I'm like, why do you need to know what my goals are? You can't just make the planner? Absolutely not. She needed to create the planner.
And I know you said it just like that, Catherine.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like that. And so she created this planner for me based on what. So, of course, I had to go and think about what are the things I wanted to focus on for this year, right? And then tell Jay, now look at this. Do you see that my logo is printed in the planner? That's not a sticker. It's like on the thing, right? Oh, and it comes with like all of these things. Look, all of these cards and everything, extra stickers. Look. So I
Is
told
red
Jay,
eye obvious? Can you see my red eye in the camera?
anyway,
So
I told Jay that my goal for this year was definitely my finances. I needed to get my finances in order, right? So yeah, there's your regular planner stuff. And then there is like this entire book. Can you see? What does it say? Budget. And it's everything money, right? So first there's a section with what your bills are that you need to write down. And then you plan out everything, you record all of your information, all of your payments, transactions, right? And it's a whole entire book of notes and things that you need to do. And then, of course, something else that I needed to focus on, and that's most important to me, can you see, is my faith. And so there's a whole nother book, right? By the way, you guys are seeing these like little things in the middle that remind me of all kind of things that are important. And so, first thing, today I'm grateful for. When I got my planner, I said to her, I said, Jay, this is too nice. I can't write in it. And she cussed me off and said, the purpose of it is for me to use it, right? And so I've actually been using it. And the first thing I did was when I went through my richest man in Babylon, I put it at the front of my budget. All the things that I needed to focus on doing, right? Oh, so after I finished showing up, and the first thing she asked me, by the way, was, what is my scripture that guides me, or my favorite scripture? And what did she do? She bedazzled it. Can you see? And put it at the front of my planner to remind me why I'm here and what drives me. So the point of that long story was to tell you guys that Jay actually makes planners that are tailor-made just for you and what you're trying to achieve. And so, of course, Rochelle red-eyed me from a planner and decided that she wanted one too, and she wanted Jay's number, right? So, of course, she went and she ordered her own, and she ordered for other people. So now we've been mandated that each of us need a ready to emerge planner. So that's the next thing for you to do for us. Okay. So Jay, so her name, by the way, before we keep talking about her, is Jaysheree Nagrani, right? And like we said, she is the founder of Planning with Jay, and among many other things, but we're going to focus on planning tonight. So Jay, tell us about Planning by Jay. Wait. We can't hear you. Are you muted? Can't hear you. Let me see. Is your mic on? I don't know, because we were hearing you perfectly before. Let me see. Okay, so Jay's gonna sign out and sign back in. I don't know. Let me see. We can see you. And your mic is on. I don't know. Can anybody else hear Jay? Can you sign out and sign back in? Yeah, try and sign out and sign back in. Okay. So guys, thank you for your patience. I want you to know that we actually tested everybody's sound before we signed in, but you know how it goes. Anything that can go wrong, right? So we're looking forward to having her back because she is such an amazing person and she's so passionate about her planning business. And I mean, she does it for the love of it. I can see. Yay! Okay, so tell us about Planning by Jay.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know when it became like that, Kathy. I didn't even know where Planning with Jay came from. I mean, Planning with Jay. Yes, Planning with Jay, Kathy. It's so funny because my little brother actually helped me come up with that. I never thought of it as anything that would become a brand or something that I even do.
But why are you so passionate about it?
It's my creative outlet. It is something, it's my therapy. It's my creative therapy. It is what makes me smile and it makes my mind, focus on something else. It is what I use to just drown myself in.
So how did Planning with Jay emerge?
I love how you did that. Good one. Well, it's so funny. It came one day, I was just posting pictures online on my own personal Instagram of planners, of something I did with my own planner. And a friend of mine messaged me from my Rainbow Land. I have a mommy group, a Rainbow Land mommy group. Sorry, a Hot Moms mommy group.
Right, because her daughter doesn't go to Rainbow Land anymore.
No, but so she just said to me, Jay, I need you to do a planner for me. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, no problem. And she's like, what's the cost? I'm like, the cost. And she's like, yeah, it's like, it could be a business. And I'm like, oh, okay. But it doesn't feel that way. It's like, I feel like every planner I do, or every time I get to do a planner, it's so personalized that I get to know someone that maybe I would never have met.
So how do planners help us? How does it help people?
This is the thing. Let's take the boring out of planners, okay? It's a planner. It's an organizer. Your bank gives it to you at the end of the year for the new year. It is a way to just have everything that's in your head actually written down in one place.
Yes.
It's so funny because how our minds work is that once we write it down, a lot of us don't really even have to go back and look at it, because once we write it down, it's already cemented in our heads.
Yeah.
It's just like when you tell someone, oh, remind me to call you at 6 o'clock. You remember to call them at 6 o'clock because you told them you were to remind you.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And for me, I'm not about that planner that is boring, or I'm all about planning pretty. Okay, I was that person in school that I could not learn out of an ugly textbook. I needed my textbook to be either wrapped or at least new.
Yes.
I mean, it's just like that. You always plan pretty.
So how do we use our planners, or how does planning help us to get through this period of COVID? Everybody's locked away, you know.
You know what? It is a way for us to focus on maybe the things that we've never had time to focus on. We definitely have a time now where we can at least write.
Yes.
Or not even journal, because a lot of people, that whole term journaling, it's intimidating at times. It can be for me, at least. You feel like everything has to be a proper way. For me, you just dump it out in that one book of yours. So like Rochelle at the beginning was saying, oh, she has 3 different books. Well, Rochelle, you won't be having 3 different books very soon.
Jay's going to sort you out.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh gosh. Kathy, I fell in love. I fell in love with
She doesn't
Rochelle.
need any encouragement, Jay. She's already trying to take you away from me. She's not allowed. She's already trying to take you away from me.
But yeah, it's nice to have everything in one place.
Yeah.
And the thing is, an organizer does not have, or a planner it doesn't have to be just that, that mundane, what am I going to do today? My doctor's appointment is at 9:00. My daughter's school, her project is due. No, it's everything in one.
Yeah.
Your budget, your journaling, your daily stuff, your family life, your recipes, your everything in one book.
So that was actually going to be my next question, because I was going to ask you, what are the different critical areas that we need to think about for our planner? But you just told us everything.
There's none. And that's the beauty about it. It's such a creative outlet that there's nothing perfect about it except what works for you.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so great when, all right, so like you, I remember when I asked you to fill out a form.
Oh yeah. So sidebar. So when you call Jay, or you reach out to Jay and you say to her, Jay, I would like a planner, there is an entire intake sheet that you need to fill out before she engages you. Okay? Her thing is very proper. Did Rochelle do her form?
No.
See? Okay. I did my form. Because I know she I did my form, Jay. I might not have done it in the way that you wanted me to, but I did it.
Okay, fair enough. Yes. Okay. Yes.
So she has an entire intake sheet that guides you through what are the different areas that you want to focus on in your planner for her to create it. Okay? Down to color choices. Go ahead.
However, if you're like Kathy is so awesome. I mean, you started filling out your sheet and she sends me a message and she's like, Jay, I can't. Like, this is just too much. Like, it requires too much thought. I can't deal with this right now. And I basically just said to her, okay, just WhatsApp me. And I just gave her some basic questions. What do you want to use this planner for? What is your favorite color? Is there anything you don't like? Is there any patterns you don't like? What you don't want in there? What is your favorite scripture? Just let me, and then that was it.
And then I got a masterpiece. So Zoe, is Zoe a planner?
Zoe is a planner by I think she just feels like she
by
needs
default.
to be. No,
So-
but she's so creative. Oh my gosh, it's unreal.
So how do we train children with planners as a part of homeschooling? How do we help to create that structure for children, especially now during homeschooling, to use a planner or to use planning?
Kathy, I have to give you a joke. You said Zoe. She heard you. Her ears.
Hi, Zoe.
She came running with her 2 planners.
Oh, look, Look at Zoe's amazing planners. I want a purple one.
You're so cute.
My Emerge planner will be purple.
So yeah, that was Rochelle's first color choice too. Was purple, but
Naomi's one will be pink.
so in terms of children, it's so funny because Zoe started taking her planner to school just because when school's done, they're allowed to, do something creative while they're waiting for their parents. So Zoe would draw or she would color or whatever. So she started bringing her planner to school and her friends started seeing it and they liked it. So I did them for a few of her friends, like as gifts and stuff. Mm-hmm. And you're like this little second grade planner crew, Kathy. It is so beautiful. But the thing is, even though they're just what it seems like they're just doing, it's setting a foundation for such an amazing skill, such an amazing mindset. That's only going to help them further. So for children, I mean, little things like, little things for us at least, writing a homework assignment down. Zoe Miller does not, she's sitting right beside me, by the way. She, every time it's like, Zoe, what do you want to eat? There's an issue. Oh, I don't do this. I said, Zoe, go in your planner and write a list of the foods that you want to eat, that you like to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're allowed to choose from that list every day. Little things like that to encourage her to write.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, she draws pictures, she writes her birthday list, she does a Christmas list, and it's what, April?
Yeah.
Whatever.
So it helps them to create a lot of structure too.
Absolutely.
And to plan ahead and to think about things moving forward.
Absolutely.
This is so awesome. So Jay, how do we find you?
Well, you can go on my Instagram. I'm at planningwithjayjm. I believe my WhatsApp, my number is there. I think I just love that personal, that connection. Because Kathy, can I tell you, like, as I said, like I meet people that I may have we probably would never have met before. Okay. And I get to like be a part of their life for just a little moment.
Yeah.
Because every single person, don't think it's just weekly, monthly budget. People have different goals.
Yes.
And a lot of people have, I've been blessed to that people will open up to me and tell me, oh, Jay, I want to do this. Can you do an insert for this? The things that they ask me, and I'm like, of course, yes. That's so awesome.
I listen, you definitely are blessed with a lot of talents, because to even think of outside of creativity, I mean, this is really a passion and a skill set. So I am fortunate that I even came across your planner the first time, and I am very grateful. It's true. And I'm very, very grateful for my planner. And now the other two will be getting theirs. We're going to be getting for Emerge. So we need 5. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 for Emerge. But Jay, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, you're truly a blessing. And we're so thankful.
I love you, Seychelles.
I love you too. So thank you for joining us and for sharing all of these quick tips with us, because we needed it. I mean, a lot of us need to have that structure and the mindset now to keep us sane. And my planner helps to keep us sane.
Yes.
Yay!
I told Jay, happy. Yay!
I can't wait for my consultation for my pink journal.
Yeah. Guys, just so that you understand too, one of the key things about what Jay would have just shared is she had a personal passion that she was willing to put out there through her Instagram page, and that passion has developed into a business, but it's actually birthed from a calling, from purpose. So sometimes we're wondering, how can I even monetize my passion? When you love what you do and you're willing to share it with others, it's also sometimes it's surprising that people want to pay you for it, and they're like, "This is awesome! I will pay you for this." So we're just so grateful that Jay is sharing her talent. And I can tell you, one of the things that we've been pushing with small business owners is the experience that your customers have, whether it is COVID or not. And I have had an amazing experience with Jay. I mean, like she's my best friend. We're BFFs. But you know what? That she would
roll eyes.
she had to be kind of delving, and she didn't delve in a fast way. She just wanted to understand what I wanted.
What the needs are.
When I was getting a planner for someone else who was very special to me, and I knew she would love this. Yeah. And I described this person. I was like, she was in my head. Yep. So Jay, just continue doing what you are doing, and viewers, just use this as inspiration. As you're going through this time, ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What's that thing I do for myself and for my friends that I could be willing to just put out there? I don't have to be shy about it. Somebody is going to like it. Trust me. Yeah. There's nothing like the way you can actually monetize something that you love to do, so it doesn't even feel like work. Yeah. So today, may God continue to bless you and thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Look at this. Barbie says, "You're going to be the only one that's going to complete the form."
Yeah, and she would write it nicely and put the emoticons. I looked at the phone and I was like, "No, darling, we can't do this." I was like, "I can't."
So the muffins are cool.
I'm going to do this without them falling.
Oh wow! Ooh. What's that board that you have there? That board is nice.
It's my Mara. What's Tamara's thing called? Made by Mara?
Mara made.
What is it?
Mara made.
Mara made.
Oh, you get yours already?
I actually just got it to me right now. I'm a never see come see.
Oh.
But
because Rochelle was showing off
this is my cheese board, but you can use it for so many other things. And you know what was awesome? So I went to pick up my board today, and so I ordered this one board, right? And Tamara added a little bonus board.
What? So now that they're back in stock, I can order mine. Lovely, because she ran out of stock. So
lovely. And guys, the Mara Made is another one of our local manufacturers that is she's just using her talent in amazing ways. And she's been making these charcuterie boards. We'll have to say charcuterie because, it does make me sound important. Right. Some people don't
board because I always don't pronounce it right.
So. Only Michelle can pronounce it.
But one of the things is that he's doing it to help with persons in need. So the monies from these boards are actually going to help to feed persons in the community of Trelawney that her business operates from, where she actually manufactures from. So we just really want to applaud Mara Made for this initiative and for the beauty. You notice, even though she's doing it for a charitable thing, the board them is bashment.
Yeah, man. And her things the quality are excellent.
So this is without the muffins on it. It's just so nice, and it's a nice size, and there's none that look identical either. So I love that.
Yeah. And remember, this time we are supporting our local farmers. We are buying local. We are supporting our small businesses any way we can, because we recognize that our business support helps to just keep this economy going. Okay. This is the time that we support our businesses.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, sorry for you guys, because Ajani already took one of the muffins.
Right. So just remind Ajani that tomorrow is another day and those muffins belong to other people. Oh. His birthday was last week.
Yeah, because they tell that boy I will wrestle him to the ground over the muffin desk. I tell him don't play with
so they can all hear you.
I literally asked him back because I knew you were probably doing something, and he said yes. I even asked him, now I just told it. I asked Mommy, can I have one of the muffins? And he said yes.
Okay, Jans, we're happy that you had your one muffin. Enjoy it while it lasts. There will be no
Guys,
more.
we have had emerging in the kitchen. I know we were supposed to have baby face. We had some technical difficulties, but one of the things for tonight that reminded me, tonight we had some technical difficulties, and what my mother always says is, when you are doing something right, expect little attacks.
Yes.
And when we had some technical difficulties, I was almost here cheering and saying, "Yes, God, we're doing something important." So we are so grateful that you are able to join us. We are so grateful that you are well enough to join us and that you've taken some time with us. Last week we discussed the book Richest Man in Babylon. This week our book was David and Goliath. Did everybody read it?
I did. I read it.
What did you learn, Katrina?
I have my notes. I read it. Yeah, I have my notes. What's the point of reading if you're not going to take notes? So my takeaways were: attitude is everything. We have to have the right attitude. We have to keep going. We learn from our defeat. We have to be unconventional and think outside the box. How our resources. Our resources sometimes actually limit us because we are so accustomed to living within the things that we have that we don't, it doesn't push us to think outside of the box. What if we didn't have them? What would we do? And that for me was absolutely very interesting, because some of the things that we think are an advantage to us are actually a disadvantage to us. And that for me was very profound. More is not always better. And I can't is very different from I won't. Those were my takeaways from the book.
Yeah. And the book is about the premise is the story of David and Goliath. Yeah. And how we've always looked as Goliath as the big and strong and David as the underdog. Yeah. But in fact, because David was smaller and the type of weaponry he had, and because he was courageous, that actually gave him an advantage. Yeah. So one of the things, as I read this book again, was just a reminder that, it's very easy for us to see this COVID time as us being at a disadvantage. But we are actually at an advantage. And if we're willing to not see ourselves as victims and as defeated, there's so many opportunities for winning that can come out of it. And in fact, one of the things, and Kathy mentioned it, the book actually reminded me about an overabundance of resources. Because what has happened to us now is that our freedom is limited. The other night, the power did go out and we did in a darkness. So God forbid the fan never turn on, no AC, no TV, no internet. We said, Jesus, we are going dead now. Yeah. But you know what? When you stopped and get back to yourself, you realize that sometimes because we have so much stuff around us, that we aren't as innovative as we should be. Yeah. We're not thinking outside of this proverbial box. We're just constantly like, where is the remote for this? Yeah. Where's the car keys? I must do this, I must do that. But we're not coming back to ourselves because sometimes we're so caught up with the other stuff. Yeah. So this time is really a good time to even see ourselves as the underdog, as the newcomer, with a new agility to face the world in a completely different way. We're learning to use technology in a different way. We're learning to work from home. We're learning to cook. We're learning to bake. What a time this is. Such an amazing time. Another key point in the book, and I read that part, funny enough, I opened the book and it came to this section. Sometimes we are in a state of defeat because we're comparing ourselves to other people. That it's not apples for apples. Yeah. In fact, it's never apples for apples. Never. Like, we spend so much time wondering why this person has this particular set of things. Their circumstances are different. Their life is different. They've made different choices. And are we willing to make the choices that they made? Exactly. Yeah. So one of the things that we are promoting for the rest of this week is to take back yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes we take away ourselves so much that we lose ourselves. It's time we take back ourselves.
Yeah.
This is a new time of new opportunity for us. And in losing some of our freedoms and the things that we're so used to having access to, you know what it do? It make we start turn we hand and make fashion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nai, any takeaways from you?
I did not read the book yet. I'm sorry, guys. So if I'm completely honest, I think this has been like my, let me not say worst week, but
it's been tough.
I think I've been just going and going and going. And this week, I'm not here. So I will read the book. Actually, I'll listen to the book. I got the Audible version before the weekend is up. But I'm doing actually what you're saying, Rochelle, even without reading the book, really almost trying to start over.
Yeah.
So not even pivoting, but going back to basics for all the different areas of the things that I do and trying to see what really works.
Yeah.
So I put on these things like today I'm in my lipstick and stuff and I'm baking and that's great. But that was not me a couple hours ago. But I enjoy doing things like this because it allows me to connect with my tribe, which is this tribe here, but also connect with our wider tribe, which is everyone that's in this live right now. But yeah, so this taking back yourself is real. It is real. Yep. And I think it's okay to feel, I mean, as you said, you can watch people. I actually started muting people online, actually, on Instagram, because sometimes it's overwhelming for me to see people still just going. And I applaud them. I think that's amazing. But it also makes me feel like, what am I doing? Or why am I not doing so much? Or, you know, I should be doing these 10 different things. But some days I feel accomplished just when I brush my teeth right now, honestly.
That's okay.
That's a big deal, right? Yep. I went on the road and I had to shave my legs and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going somewhere like a new person. So, you know, I'm trying to accept that and do what I can when I can. But now even hearing more about the book, I definitely need to read that or listen to it because that's the state I'm in right now where I need to take back myself, get back to basics, and also do some more introspection, which is what I advise my clients to do all the time. So I'm actually taking my own advice and just stepping back a little bit, looking at my journey and seeing, okay, what's next? And, you know, start getting excited about the possibilities. Because the great thing is that there are a lot of amazing opportunities out there, even during this time, a lot. So but we need to get over the hurdle of what is happening and say, okay, but how can I help or how can I be of service or what can I do? So so that's my long monologue there.
So I'm doing a webinar now, the 15 laws of invaluable growth, and we are at law 10. And one of the laws for John Maxwell is the law of reflection. And that's what it really just speaks to, just pausing, you know, just stop and take the time to really just be still, to reflect, to think about where we are, where we need to be, and to just not do anything.
Yeah.
You know, and I think,
there's sometimes, because even, you know, when I said sometimes it's just a big thing to be able to get up and brush your teeth. Like we take these things for granted because sometimes we're comparing ourselves to people who look, you know, they're on the move, and I'm like, yay.
I washed my hair this morning and combed it, and that was a huge accomplishment for me.
But you know, even over the weekend on Saturday, I could not stop sleeping. I was like, I wonder if you're depressed and you need to sleep. And I said, maybe you're just tired. Could it be that you're tired? Exactly. Oh, this thing called tired. I was tired.
Yes.
Every part of me was tired. My teeth tired. Every part of me was just exhausted. And then with
you know what?
On, yes,
because you don't have any set timelines, and I think that's one of the things too. It's like you get up and it's just go, and the days run into each other, the hours run into each other. those with children also understand the juggling between the children, the work, the just life, sanity. It's a lot. And so, like you said, there are some days where I can't move. I just feel exhausted.
This morning, my day started. I had my first meeting at 8 o'clock. And I had 2 meetings this morning, 8 and then 1 at 9. And I have the webinar that I teach at 11. And I totally forgot about it today. Forgot. One of the persons on the webinar sent me a message thank God, at 10 to 11 and said, I'm ready and waiting. And I'm like, ready and waiting for what? And he was like, I'm waiting for the webinar to open. And I was like in pajamas, had to run upstairs, wash my face, brush my teeth, and brush the front of my hair and come back downstairs. Thank God I prepared for it before. And yeah, I forgot about my webinar today because I was just frazzled after the first 2 meetings this morning. It was just too much going on. So yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
we're getting some great.
We are tired. We're all tired.
Nikki said she was one who was lazy. No, you're not lazy, Nikki. Your body's tired.
Yeah. My people are loving what you're sharing on LinkedIn. So we probably need to do a session where you teach us how to do it properly.
Sure,
so thanks for that, Nai.
And that's one of the things, I mean, that's a platform that I preach about, but I haven't been very active and engaging on it. And over the last month, because I do have the time now, I try to post something every day. And I've realized that the consistency and the engagement has, I mean, my connections have really increased. I'm speaking with some international brand strategists in 2 weeks on this panel with people that I follow online globally. But that's just because I'm putting myself out there. So that's one of the opportunities that has come up, is me just being more active and engaging on LinkedIn and being able to also share with an audience in that space with the branding tips that I share on Instagram. So it's almost just repurposing content and sharing them on this platform, and the feedback has been really, really great. So that's one of the pluses for me right now during this time. So thanks, guys. I'm glad you're watching and stuff.
So what's our book for next week?
Our book. Well, I don't want to hog the book choice, but if you want me to, have we done the 4 agreements?
No. Oh, and it's more. I love the 4 agreements.
Right. I have the 5th one.
I have the 5th one too.
Yeah. So we should probably start with the 4 and then go to the 5.
Yeah. Let's do the 4 agreements.
We aim high. We're doing the 5 agreements. They all work well together. Let's do the 5. It's easier.
Okay, great.
No, so just get the 5 agreements and then you don't get the old book, you want to get the new book.
Okay. No, the new book is the 5th agreement. It doesn't have, I have it. It doesn't have all 4. It has just the 5th one.
Oh, let's do the 4 agreement. Okay. Let's keep it simple.
Let me tell you a story about books. Somebody posted on Instagram, and I have to admit, one of my favorite books of all time is Escape to Last Man's Peak. I read it in second form, so you know that was a few years ago now.
Yeah.
Before the internet.
That was when was that, Rochelle? When was that?
That was like a long time ago. No,
before cell phones were made.
Like 55 times. I've read it so many times. And one of the things I forgot about it is that the book is about a pandemic that had taken over Jamaica and the children that were stuck in the orphanage.
Yes.
Somebody had posted it. So it's so funny because I was like, all of these years later, Escape to Last Man's Peak is what we're living. And I remember at the time it sounded like science fiction. Yeah. And this is what we're living now. Mm-hmm. So absolutely amazing to me. So guys, remember our book for next week is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz.
Yes.
Excellent book, very short read. I always recommend people read it because it's a very short read, so you can look like you read even one book for the year. And we'll be talking about each one of the agreements. But we also want you to be sharing in your comments the different things that you're learning from the books, because it really is wonderful, engaging. I see Kemoy is back. Kemoy, we're always happy to see you. Simone Mahaber is here. Nick Max, We love you, girl. Saw Empress Golding earlier. I'm a big fan, so I had a fangirl moment. Today we had two amazing guests, Dr. Thea Nicole Davis and Jayshree Nagrani. Catherine always does a summary because she's, you know, in the Spice Girls, Nye would be what? Cooking spice. What should be and Kathy is Bright Spice. So go ahead, Bright Spice.
And what are you, Rochelle?
Not Spice.
What she said she is?
Fab Spice.
Fab Spice.
All Spice. I'm all Spice.
All Spice. So Shelly-Ann said that, you know, she is just tired and she's overthinking everything. Shelly, you are not the only one. Last week, I literally sat down on the couch. I had my computer in my lap and the computer moved slowly from my lap to the table beside me. And I decided not to move from the couch for the entire day. Right? Mm-hmm. So you're not alone, and it's okay for you to feel tired, and it's okay for you to be exhausted and to not want to think or do anything. Sit down and watch Netflix all day. Naomi laughed at me the other day because I tell her that I watch Hallmark. I don't even watch Netflix anymore. I watch Hallmark because it is brainless and it is no violence. It is love,
I understand that now.
Fun and light. Fun and light,
Yeah.
and it makes you feel good. You know what I mean? And so there are days when you just need to take a feel good day, and it's okay for you to do that, Shelly. It's not the end of the world, right?
Well, that's why I built that little the other day, because I just needed a break from thinking about anything else.
Yeah.
And so I wanted something where I could just focus on this one thing and complete it, and I felt accomplished. I don't think I will do another Lego set in a very long time. It's a lot of work. It's a lot.
And all kind of exciting.
Yeah, it had a lot of things. But I needed that. I needed that brain break to not be thinking about cooking, cleaning the house. Lord, I am
tired of cleaning.
I am over washing clothes, cleaning the house, mopping the house, washing the dishes, folding up things, picking up things, feeding the dog, letting the dog outside, and doing my work.
Yeah.
It is a lot.
Absolutely.
So I needed a break from everything, and my escape was Lego.
Yeah. So Shelly, it's okay.
Yeah.
Right? So today, I didn't write any notes today. I was so busy listening to Thea. And I think for me, the greatest takeaways from Thea are, one, we need to be grateful because there are so many people that are putting their lives in danger for us. And two, we need to remember that we are first in line. And so we have to protect ourselves and protect everybody around us. And the medical staff and all the frontline workers are supposed to be a last resort for us. So we have to be first in line at all times, right? And I think, like I said, gratitude is a must, right? I mean, from everything, listening to Thea's conversation and talking about reaching out to our tribe and staying connected to the people that keep us sane is something that all of us can relate to. Mm-hmm. You know, there are days when we literally are like, we need to have a FaceTime call or we need to go on Zoom just to talk foolishness, and for Rochelle to be a DJ and for Naomi to have her karaoke, and we not do anything that is related to anything sensible, right? So we have to have our tribes that we reach out to stay connected, to keep us sane, right?
Yeah.
With Jay, oh my gosh, there's just so many takeaways. One, find a way to turn your passion, to monetize your passion, right? Because the reality is that when we're doing things that we love, it's effortless. It comes easily to us and it doesn't feel like work. I mean, when you look at the detail in this planner, it is retarded. The girl bedazzled my scripture. I mean, this is like taking one piece of something and putting it on one thing at a time. That takes love and patience, right? But taking the time to, one, store everything in one place. A lot of us think, Naomi and I are guilty. We have 1 million books, right?
Yeah. And Rochelle.
Yeah, and Rochelle.
out. You know what though, Kathy, on that point, one of the things I faced with my million books is that it helps me to escape not having to do things that I said I was going to do. So I'd write a list in one book and I just start another book so I don't have to do those things in there. So when Nai had mentioned a couple of weeks ago that she had looked back through, when I look back through some of the things I actually had done and I didn't even recognize. And there's some simple things. I'm like, if you could put this in a practice, you'd have really reached somewhere in life, you know. So I do that. As I love lots of books, one of the things is that it helps me not to be responsible for the things that I said I was
So
going
Jay is gonna fix your business, so now you have everything on. But now look at this, guys. I wanted to share this comment. This is my aunt, my mother's sister, that is on the live with us. And she said she's here with us and she is in her 70s and she's enjoying and benefiting from our perspective.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Auntie
Dorothy. And let me tell you, Nick Max, you don't have a picture of, but we have to meet you. You are hilarious.
That's Nikki. That's
Nikki from New Greenhouse.
No, she is so funny. She's like, my pivot to COVID must be going to be helper work. One well-educated day's worker available here.
Nikki, we're having you on our live. So, and I think something else that was important, an important takeaway from Jay, is that we need to condition our children to start planning and to start writing things down and to start to create that structure from now. And it doesn't have to be monotonous and boring. Make it fun for them, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that we have been talking about and been making a very conscious decision to do is to start to focus on things that matter and start to focus on things that are lighter, things that are reminding us about life and the great things in life and the fruitful things in life, and to take us away from the dread of COVID. And so we're moving into some exciting, fun topics and people that we're going to be interacting with. And so next week is going to be loads of fun. So Nikki, gear up because we're going to be calling you to invite you as a guest on our live, okay? So next week, who are our guests? And I'm so excited to have them. Who are our guests next week?
Are you waiting on us to answer?
Yeah.
Oh, it's school shut.
Our friends, Terry-Ann Garfien, Terry Carell Reed, and
Terry Carell Reed. And Garfien are going to be some of our special guests next week. And who else are we having next week on our show?
Next week we also have
Tamara.
We will have Tamara from Mara Made is next week.
Yeah.
Next week is oh goodness, it's like muffins. Next week is like a banana pecan chocolate chip muffin. So we have Terry Carell, we have Garfien Grandison, we have Tamara Harding from Mara Made, and of course our NCB who is back with us next week. I saw Santia on earlier. Hi Santia.
Yeah.
So next week, guys, is going to be absolutely awesome. I don't know if anybody notices that my lighting looks a lot better than
I was gonna say that.
No one said anything about it.
You look good, girl.
Yes, somebody gave me. So I have been, let me tell you about prayer. I was just abstractly thinking that I need something that makes me look like a little more high definition. And another live that I'm doing, we have to do it. Everything is going to be on StreamYard tomorrow. And look what they come with, an HD camera. So I'm sitting here admiring myself and saying, guys, you need a new camera. I see red guy.
Nice. She's taking show off now because you're in the kitchen and not in your office with your lighting and your camera. Okay. So now she can show off. It's okay. I'm going to.
Yeah.
It's a fine, Rush. A win for one is a win for all.
Nikki said we don't have enough rum in our kitchen to be a guest. Well, we're gonna see, because let me tell you something. I don't know if everybody saw my Instagram post or Naomi's Instagram post. Rochelle don't get no flowers, so she don't know what it feel like. Wow. But we got the most beautiful arrangements that if it was not made with anything less than love from New Greenhouse.
They were absolutely beautiful. I'm sorry, Rochelle. And the problem is that they don't have no flaws anymore.
Right. So you won't get.
Let me tell you something. God loves me. This I know. So Catherine and Naomi, because me get my bashment camera on a red eye.
Whatever. So Barbie posted a comment and I can't even find her. But guess what? She was like, Rochelle, why do you talk about yourself when you're actually talking about me? But let me tell you something. It's true, you know, you and Barbie are very similar in many ways. We can't have you and Barbie on the show together at the same time. We can't. The Jamaica is not ready for that.
So guys, we really have had a lovely time with you. Thank you for sharing with us. You are our tribe, and every week that we get an opportunity to just be ourselves with you and give you an opportunity to just let go of all of the trappings and be your own self. Remember, this is a time now where we're going to do hashtag take back yourself.
Take back yourself.
Yourself. Okay?
I'm ready.
To our guests, Dr. Thea Davis. We just pray for her continued safety as part of our healthcare team. To Jay with and it's planning with Jay. On Instagram, it's at planning with Jay. Please follow her and support her business. Next week, remember, we're going to have Terry Carell and Garfield Grandison along with Tamara Harding. So you have to join the show from early, take out your wine from early, put the pin in them, bring the children on to tell them sit down and keep quiet and join us. We really are looking forward to sharing with you again. Tomorrow, I'm going to get a little package from Naomi with my muffins. And when I eat them, every time I take a bite, I smile. Because you know what? I'm probably putting on a solid 5 pounds. But let me tell you, see, when I chew into that, it's a 5 pounds that's worth it. And I'm ashamed.
Oh my God. So thank you everybody for joining us and have a wonderful week. And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.